you let me love you forever, forever. I wanna love you. Will you let me love you forever, forever and a day, 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 day.
Happy Tuesday! I can't believe it's Tuesday, it's not Monday. So first and foremost, happy belated Thanksgiving. I was going to do it yesterday, Canadian Thanksgiving, but my power out here went out. Like the power was out, internet was out, I was sitting in the dark. I had this Hello Kitty flashlight that I realized that I probably need to get like some type of earthquake, natural disaster kit together because that flashlight was for fashion only. So we didn't get to do yesterday's show, so we're doing yesterday's show today and today's show tomorrow, and then we will be caught up. We're gonna do some housekeeping first and foremost. How y'all doing? I see Aaron in the live chat and C Cruz, hey girl, hey, and Crystal. We're gonna do housekeeping first because that's what we do first. Wherever you're watching, if you can hit that thumbs up, that'd be great. We've got some new Patreon subscribers, so our new list. Shout out to these lovely people because without you, Crystal says, Adel, listen, Crystal, if you guys want to know a little something, I called my mom, right? So I called my mom, she didn't answer. I called her right back, she didn't answer with the power out, right? So the power is out for like an hour and a half. I was worried about like my perishables and all this stuff. So I'm like, what do I do, right? Because my mom's big on like, just throw out all the gross stuff that's like not good, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, she wasn't answering. And I was like, oh, what am I going to do? So I get in a group chat. I asked the wise ones, oh, you know, when there's a power outage, did you guys know, because I clearly didn't know, that the fridge stays cold for 4 hours. So that was a whole thing. And then my mom called and then I had a whole conversation with her. But yes, Crystal, I'm failing at Adulting 101. Hey, Kathy, what part of Canada are you from? I'm from Canada too. So back to some new subscribers on Patreon. You guys, it's been a doozy of a week. Friday, Patreon subscribers, listen, go ahead and bring your adult beverages because I have so much to talk about. Just with all the like, you guys, some days there's just a lot of 90-day news. Today was one of those days. There's like 2 breakups. Someone's found cheating. Just there's a lot going on. But Mississauga. So Kathy, I was born in North York. I'm giving my whole business away. Born in North York, but from Vancouver, raised in Vancouver, BC. So I know Mississauga well. Shout out to Olivia, Vanessa, Trisha, Trina, Jennifer, Cherry. Is it Cherry or Sherry? Lillian, Sydney, Nia, Raydella, Linda, Brianna, Crystal, Amanda. There's 2 of them now, so Amanda times 2. Jaleesa, Angela, Megan, Marianne, Ebony, and Ivor. Never mind. Elizabeth, Carly, Geek Girl, Betsy, Christina, Beth, Chandra, Judy, Cassandra, Deb, and Janice. Welcome all the newbies. You guys are in for a roller coaster ride. You guys are in for so much good stuff. So much good stuff between the cast interviews and the news and gossip. I got y'all. Aaron says, my power went out last night too, so I thought I missed this. So a double woohoo, I didn't. Yeah, girl. Ooh, the power. Listen, I went to bed early because I didn't know what to do with myself, y'all. And Crystal says, yeah, you almost need a news and gossip every day to keep up with these days. So it's funny that you say that, Crystal, because I'm going to do some I started this 90, what was I calling it? 90 days and 90 seconds. I'm going to do little snippets. I'm going to keep all the juicy for Friday, our Patreon subscribers, but I'm going to start to do little snippets because it's hard to keep up with all the news because it's constantly all day, every day. Anyhow, on to The Other Way, season 3, episode 7, The Other Woman. I'm going to put my disclaimer out top. I'm going to talk a lot of shit because this episode was wild to me. It was wild. So that's my disclaimer. I'm normally pretty even Steven and I'm pretty neutral, but this one right here. Woo. They started off the episode with Steven and Alina, and I just want to say that Steven is crazy as far as I'm concerned. There's something about him that's giving me 100% serial killer vibes, and I keep talking about Friday's News and Gossip because you guys, 2 weeks ago, we talked about Steven. It took me a week to decompress all the stuff, but it makes all the sense. And like, I'll throw it, when we talked about what we found out about Steven, it makes this season make sense, and I'm wondering if that's going to come up this season. Because if it doesn't, just know that this guy right here, when he talked about his harem of women, he's not joking. He's not joking. He is not joking, you guys, believe it or not. So he's not a virgin. He excuse me, comes clean to Alina, and he's basically, you know what, I'm not perfect, and you know, I am trying my very best, but my weakness is women and sex. He didn't say that, but that's what he meant. So she's pissed. They're sitting across the table. He's like twirling his hair. And I was like, what's happening right now? Her face was livid. So what did she do? She decided to drink the wine. And he's like, did you drink the wine? And she was like, she didn't say this, but I know in her mind, she was like, yes, motherfucker, what? I drank the wine, what? You cheated, and you said you were a virgin and you're not. So when you're saying, did you just drink the wine? And I said, well, did you just sleep with some other girls? Yeah. I think we're pretty not even. Okay? A little slip of the vino is not equivalent to this list of women. And the fact that he knew, you guys, all the women, like, it was outrageous. It was outrageous. So here she's thinking he's innocent and pure and this religious guy, but instead he's a complete hypocrite in her mind. He's a complete liar, and she's lost all trust in him. And yeah, because you've been lying this whole time. Meanwhile, you're like, let's get married. And now that we're here in Turkey, you don't even know if you want to get married. And guess what? She doesn't know if she wants to get married either, because she doesn't know who this dude is. And you guys, what do I always say to you? What do I always say? When you are in an online quote, and I say it very loosely because it's not, relationship with someone, it's not a relationship. You have to spend time with that person in real life, as we're learning with Alina and Steven. You have to, because you're meeting the representative online. But this guy has all the things that he's been hiding, and you're now just finding out that, you know, he's a bit of a gigolo. So he then says, and tries to make an excuse. He's like, that's why I was afraid of living together. What, because you're a sex addict? Like, what were you afraid of? You can't control your urges? Steven, you're 25 years old. What can't you control? You're a grown-ass man. So I say all that to say that he has some issues, you guys. And when I say he has some issues, he really has some issues. And I call him mini Colt. I'll leave it at that. He's a mini Colt when Colt was single. So, she's pissed. She's like, you want me to convert? You want me to follow the commandments? You want me to read the Book of Mormons? And here you are, a religious hypocrite. She's like, I don't understand. And then she's like, tell me how many people that you've been with. So he says, well, I've made out with like at least 100 plus women. I'm like, from in this 1 year? So I'm trying to do the calculations, and maybe you guys can help it make sense. So you know that they film like a year in advance, right? But we were still in a pandemic. So what 100 women are you swapping your saliva with during the pandemic, and like in the midst of it? Not like when things were just opening up. You were in the midst of filming. What 100 women did you meet that you were able to kiss upon? And then out of those 100 women, 25 of them you got intimate with. And that, you guys, you might think that he is absolutely overestimating, but Patreon subscribers, you know that number is 100% true. It's 100% true. And then he slept with 5 of those women. So I want you guys to think about this. Put this all in your mind. In the midst of the pandemic, we're all on lockdown. We're quarantining with our core people. This fool is out here running amok, kissing hundreds of women, being intimate with another 25 of them, sleeping with another 5 of them. I'm like, first of all, I think someone has said in the live chat, who are these women? Who are these women that you're hooking up with? Where are you meeting them? And are they meeting you, this version of you? It's very interesting to me. So we find out the last time that he slept with someone was last October. And meanwhile, he was in a relationship with Alina during that time. And he tried to spin it and say, oh, well, it was the beginning of October, as if that's going to make it any better, Stephen. I need you to stop talking while you're ahead. So Alina's pissed. She walks out. And then Stephen does this new thing now where he twirls his hair. Girls twirl their hair sometimes. He twirls his hair. And I don't know if it's like a nervous twitch, but it's new this episode. So he just sits there and he's twirling his hair. He's contemplating whether he should drink the wine too, because he picks up the wine, the red wine glass that he had in front of him. And I guess he had a moment. Should I drink it? Should I not drink it? Should I drink it? Should I not? And then he put it down. So she walks out. And eventually he goes out behind her. He gives her a hug and she's pissed. She doesn't want anything to do with him. She walks away, doesn't want to talk to him. She feels like this might be the worst decision that she has made in her entire life. And you guys, I always say it, like, you met the guy in real life. First of all, you met online, which everyone meets online nowadays. That's not the problem. But you met him for 2 weeks on vacation. And vacay bay is never the real bay. Right? So 2 weeks, you're still getting his representative or her representative. So you don't really know that person because guess what? 2 weeks, ooh, glory. Let's go here. Let's do that. Let's be all lovey-dovey because there's a time limit to it and you're on vacation. Then you have this online relationship for like a year. And in that year, he tells you specifically that he wants to date other women. You say no, he does it anyways. And not only is he dating other women, he's dating hundreds of other women, kissing hundreds of other women during a pandemic, sleeping. Oh, Lord. But meanwhile, you need to follow the Book of Mormon. You need to convert, and you yourself need to be a virgin. But over here, he's not a perfect person. Okay. Krista says, I just want to know if the chicks he's soaked with are in the, quote, more than kissing group or the sexual relations group. Krista, I think you know the answer to that question. I really do. So, she's pissed. Geek Girl says, stop drinking wine and coffee. Nope. So she's pissed. She goes to bed. It's the next morning. She gets up and he's sitting there like he has no worries in the world. He's having his cereal, eating his breakfast. He says good morning to her. She just walks out the door. She's picking up her mom because her mom is visiting for the weekend. Anna wants to see what's going on with this relationship. She wants to see how Stephen is treating her daughter. And because she hasn't met him for a long time, she met him one time. She's like, I'm going to go see what's going on in Turkey and I'm going to check on my baby. So Alina picks her up. She's really happy to see her mom. She tells her mom about the fight that her and Stephen are having, how he's lied, how he's hiding stuff. He's not the person that she thought. And the mom's like, we talked about this. We talked about you having these rose tinted glasses. And I needed to make sure that you realize that when you meet someone in real life, it can be different. And like I just said, the mom said, just talking on the phone is very different than real life. 100%. 100%. Okay. Now, Alina doesn't know if she's going to tell her mom about Stephen sleeping around. I mean, it's bad enough he's already lied and held stuff back from her. But now, moms don't mess around. As soon as they have that information, it gets cataloged. They never forget. But mom comes in, she's like smiley, she's cordial. And Steven is just so his that laugh he does. Oh my god, I cannot. So he does his little weird laugh, and he welcomes her, and he's gotten her a gift, this box of chocolate, and he starts speaking Russian to her because he feels like anytime he speaks Russian, Russian people are impressed by him. So he wants to impress her. Mom's like, not really feeling it. So they're all standing there. It's awkward. He's being awkward. So he's like, oh, let's sit and let's eat some chocolate. I'll serve you some chocolate. I'll serve you some chocolate. And so they all eat chocolate, and it's this weird thing. I'm going to do it for you. It goes like this. Bite the chocolate. So, what did I just watch? Have you never had chocolate in your life? Have you never just let the chocolate melt in your, like, what? All of it was very confusing to me, you guys. It was very, very confusing. Between the laugh and the eating, and it was all very confusing. So then he does this laugh again. And he's like, oh, and Alina, I have something for you. And he's like, close your eyes, close your eyes. He made it, I thought it was going to be like the best gift ever, you guys. I thought it was going to be wrapped. There was going to be bows and balloons. Oh, no. He comes back with this little red keychain that's a cat. And then this is where it just went downhill for me. And I'm not a parent, but I was thinking as if my mom was sitting there. He says it's red like fire because you're fire, Alina. And red is hot because you're hot. Can you imagine your significant other talking like that to you in front of your parents? You're hot. It's red and you're hot. I got it for you because you're hot and I'm hot. Ew. 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 Like, ew. I'm just looking at him. I'm just looking at him. So instead of being uber impressed, the mom immediately just brings up the fight. So she's like, so what are you guys fighting about? Like, what's the issue? Because I don't understand these other girls. Why are there other girls? You and Alina have communication problems. And, you know, if you love my daughter, then why are you making her mad? And why are you making her sad? Mom goes to camera and says, you know, I think that he's a bit odd. His behavior alarms her. Okay. And that she thinks that there's more to find out. And she thinks that what she's going to find out is going to make her mad. So she is already not impressed. And he's like, well, you know, I love your daughter. She is my star. She is my moon. She is my sun. Listen here, y'all. That right there should have been the end of it. Anna should have said, pack your bags, Alina. We're going back home. This nonsense. Who talks like that to the parent? It's the sun, the moon. Oh my God, Stephen, stop it. Just stop it. Then he says he intends to marry her and he wants the mom's blessing. You think that you're going to get Anna's blessing after you said her daughter was red hot like fire? Hot, because you're hot. She's the sun. Nah, dude. Instead, the mom's like, you know what? I had a long flight. I'm tired. I want to lie down. Can you grab my bags? Goes into the room, shuts the door, and says she is not impressed. All low key. With door shut, Steven's like, oh, I hope I impressed her. Nah, fool. You ain't impressed no one. Not only she's not impressed, she tells Alina that her prospects do not look bright. I died. Geek Girl says, it was so cringy, still makes me laugh. Facts. And Barbara says, he's just a completely immature person and a narcissist at that. Geek Girl says he ripped off Game of Thrones with the Moonstar stuff. Listen, if that's what he was going for, Geek Girl, he absolutely did not nail it. Did not nail it. It just came across 100% cheesy, and I love Game of Thrones. So it was a mess. It was a mess. Now, Friday, we're going to be talking all about Steven a little bit more, you guys. And Crystal and Vanessa, and I think Rodella somewhere in the live chat. When I tell you, if you thought that the last time I talked about Steven, that was outrageous, wait till you hear what's happening on Friday. Moving on to Evelin and Corey. Oh, whoa, Deb, what is that? Oh, Debbie is not feeling Steven at all. At all. Thinks he's a cheater. Doesn't want him to marry her. Listen, I think she should run and run fast. Run! Run, Alina, run! All right, Evelin and Corey. Again, with my disclaimer with Evelin and Evelin specifically, I'm not a fan of hers. I'm not going to try. Well, I'm just going to say I'm not a fan of hers. I think she's a bully. And I've had personal experience where she's actually bullied myself and other co-hosts. And that's my disclaimer. So if I make a face, if I say a little something that is not very nice, because I'm usually all about women support women, it's because we have a little bit of history. And until she apologizes to me, I can't let it go. Sorry, not sorry. All right, so Evelin and Corey, they're all kissy for a minute. He lies to her in that moment, told her he's looking for a job, but really he's not looking for a job. He's going to go meet his ex-girlfriend, Jenny, and find out that Jenny doesn't live in Peru. Jenny lives in Ecuador, and guess what? She just literally lives right down the street. Oh, that when he thought he was going to sleep on the hammock, I was like, why not just drive over to Jenny's again? I mean, I know she had a date, but at least you knew that you had somewhere else to go. Making it act like you got to sleep outside and you ain't got no one but this woman that absolutely verbally abuses you didn't make sense to me. However, I digress. It's been 7 months since he's seen Jenny, and he had completely ghosted her. The last she heard that she asked him to go and, fix his problems. Meanwhile, they were supposed to be looking for a place. They're going to move in together, and boom, he's gone. Now, if that's not foul, I don't know what is. Ghosting is never okay. Be a person. Be the bigger person and say, hey, listen, this is what I'm doing. It takes 5 seconds to not be an asshole. So he gets out of his car. He says his heart is beating faster. He's hugging her. But he also wants to make sure that they have some closure 7 months later. Tells her he's sorry and that, the time with her was real. He had a lot of feelings for her. And, he thought he was going to be with her, but quarantine happened and he went back and basically quarantined with Evelin. And in that quarantine, they decided that they were going to give it another shot. Jenny says, you know what? The relationship was short, but it was beautiful. It was magical. And had he not been in the situation that he is in now, their relationship would be totally different. Now, when he met Jenny, he lied to her too. So when he met Jenny, he said that he was single. And it was not until that they were already in a relationship that she found out that he was married. Okay. I'm seeing a pattern. I usually feel bad for Corey, but I am seeing a pattern that he's a little bit of a less than truthful speaker when he's speaking to his baes, right? So he seems like the type of guy that really just tells people what they want to hear in the moment so that he doesn't have confrontation. And honestly, I think that not that he's a victim, but it's victim behavior, right? Because he knows that how he's been in this relationship for a very long time with Evelin, you guys, longer than they're admitting. They've been married longer than they've said that they're married. They didn't just get married last year or 2019. That's bullshit. They've been married way longer. He's been in Ecuador way longer. And I don't know why we're going with a false narrative there, but we are. And so being with this girl and knowing how she reacts to things that she doesn't like, I think he's trained himself to tell half truths. I really think that that's what it is. So he's talking to Jenny, and you know what? She's being very cordial. She's like, you know what? I get it. I would never want to get in the midst of someone else's relationship. I wouldn't want to be the person that cheated, nor would I want to be cheated on, she says. And so, you know, you need to go fix that problem, and you need to come clean to Evelin and be sincere and tell her about us, so that if you guys are truly back together, she knows the full story about what happened with us, that we weren't just one date or a couple of dates, that we literally were in a relationship for months. The months that you were away, months. Now, here's the thing, you guys. Now, hear me and let me know in the live chat what you think. So, in the show, in the beginning of this season, Corey says that it was a month that he spent in Peru. Do you guys remember that? He said, I spent a month surfing in Peru, and then I met Jenny. But then in this episode, he says that they dated for like 2.5 months. So that extra month and a half, when was that dating going on? My theory, and I have no receipts, but my theory is this: he met her in Ecuador, and since she doesn't live in Peru, and since she doesn't live in Peru, which I thought we were led to believe, she was probably like vacaying in Peru too. They met and had vacay sex and vacay relationship. Both came back to Ecuador, and he kept dating her. That's my theory. Because the timeline doesn't match. You were gone for a month, or you gone for a month, or are you gone for 2.5 months? Or are you gone for 3 months? How long was that separation? You see what I'm getting at? You see what I'm getting at? I think that there was some dating going on while he was back in Ecuador. It's a big deal. Anyhow, so he explains that he got back with Evelin during quarantine, and he was hoping that she wasn't waiting for him. Fool, it's been 7 months. She has a life. You have a life. She kept it pushing. She ain't waiting for you. 7 months of zero contact. Yeah, she's sitting there twiddling her thumb. Stop it. So, they had that tete-a-tete, and they go there. She's like, hey, I gotta go. You know, basically, I wish you well. One of the things that she said that it stuck with me, because my mom tells me this all the time: everything has a beginning and an end. Everything has a beginning and an end. And she's like, I have a date, so farewell. They hug, and you could tell, you guys, that Corey still has feelings for this girl. Corey still has feelings for this girl. Faith is asking, are you going to review the Family Chantel? Hell yeah, Faith. Hell yeah. Normally it would be today, but I had no power yesterday, so we're 1 day behind. So I will be covering the Family Chantel tomorrow, Faith. Tomorrow. Okay, so Corey gets back in his car and goes home. And he's asked by the producers, do you still have feelings for Jenny? And he's like, oh, that's a big one. That's a big one. Can I take a sip? Do you guys have any tequila around here? Which means yes, hell yes, yes, I do. And seeing her, my face went all red because I was happy to see her. A little bit embarrassed with my behavior for ghosting her. But hell yeah, I still have feelings for her. But instead he said, I have feelings for her as a person. But, and again, to me, this is like victim talk. But my heart and love and future is with Evelin. Is it, Corey? Is it? What do you get out of that relationship? I'm really curious. What loving feeling do you get out of the relationship? Because every single second of every single day, she finds a way to put you down, talk shit about you, and make you feel bad about yourself. So I'm curious. I'm super curious what it is. So it's the next day. They're taking the dog for a walk. He's decided he's gonna come clean to Evelin about Jenny. And he starts it off, and you already know it's gonna go all the way downhill when he starts it off. You know, I love you, beautiful girl. I want to be 100% honest with you. And I want to come clean about everything that happened when we were separated. Oh, Corey, you are digging your hole way too deep. So they had gotten these fresh coconut to drink fresh coconut water. And when I say he was drinking that coconut water like he was doing shots. It was so uncomfortable for me. I was like, oh, this fool. No amount of coconut water, Corey, is ever going to be refreshing enough in that moment because you took too long to tell her, and you already know she's a spaz. You already know that you're about to be verbally abused. So like, no coconut water is gonna make you feel any type of way at all. So he explained to her that it wasn't a one night thing with Jenny. It was more serious than he'd led her to believe. Yes, he was in a relationship with her. And she went all the way off. She's like, how serious? What the fuck do you mean, Corey? A few months? He's like, well, we were in a relationship. So yeah, she was my girlfriend. Oh, I want to throw up. And then she's like, cusses him out. You're this, you're that, you're effing this, you're effing that. And you just want to like F around. Then this is the part that I was like, oh, she's a narcissist. She's a 100% narcissist. So she is to camera now, and she's telling the camera that she can't believe that Corey actually had a relationship, even though she kicked him out. She told him it was over. We find out in this episode that she told him that they could see other people, and he thought it was done. He was going to come back, grab his stuff, and go back to America, or in this case, go back to Jenny and start a new relationship. So he thought it was over. Quarantine forced them back together, so he couldn't go anywhere. So you're blaming him for being gross and trying to screw around and literally cheating, but you already told him, even though you guys were married, that it was okay to see other people and that it was over. How is that cheating? Explain that to me. And then this is the part that I'm just like, oh, this little narcissist is the worst. You know how Azuelis is the best of the best? Evelin, in my opinion, is the worst of the worst. She says to camera, she can't believe Corey was out there with this girl and he lied about it, all the things. And he told her that it was just one time and they didn't even actually have sex because he couldn't get it up. And then she's like, I actually believed him because she thought he was so into her that he couldn't make it work sexually for any other woman. If that is not a narcissist speaking, I don't know what is. You thought this man who's in his prime could only have sex with you because he was so into you that no other woman he would able to get it up for? Are you crazy? Are you crazy or are you a narcissist? Okay. Now, she's pissed because while he was in Peru, he allegedly was saying that he was just surfing and thinking of her, and she feels like he played her. And I was like, why are you acting like a victim, Evelin? Because you've cheated on Corey before. You've lied to Corey's face before. And yet, here you are. You choose to be in a relationship with him. And this, to me, is not even real cheating because you told him he could see other people and you kicked him out and said it was over. So, which one is it? Are you mad because he actually found someone that wasn't you? Is that what you're mad about? Your ego is bruised? Kind of doesn't make sense to me. So then she says, imagine if I went around and got all the D and was like, oh. And my note was, you did do that. I don't call you this, but there is a nickname out there all across the internets. There's a nickname for you out there. Because allegedly, you've been around your town a couple of times. So when you said that you would never do that, and you tell Corey to F off, I think that you might be a bit confused. And then she says, I personally think was a super low blow, a bit almost like some reverse racism going on there. She's like, you think because you're white and you have blue eyes that you're Brad Pitt? Can you be any more gross? She says to him. Do you see how, like, it's all the verbal attacks. They're constant. They're constant with her. Ugh. Ugh. So he reminds her that she said it was okay to see other people. And she's still freaking out. You're not the man that I met all those years ago. I can't forgive you. I want you to leave and I want a divorce. And she walks off. Meanwhile, she's messaging him. He's standing around like he's confused, like where he has nowhere to go. He's going to sleep outside in a hammock. But she's messaging him that he's a liar and that he lied to her face, that he's a piece of garbage. Forget about me. It's over. I want a divorce. She feels mad. She feels betrayed. Okay, but what about your role in this? What are you betrayed about? If you said to him, he can see other people, how did he betray you? He went and saw other people. Now, did he lie about it? Yes. But did you know about it? Yes. So are you mad that he lied, or are you mad that he actually met someone and was in a relationship? Because I don't think you're mad that he lied, because you've been with him for a long time. You know that he's a little bit of a liar because you're a little bit of a hothead. And so he eases into telling you things because he knows that you're going to freak out. And he's trying to avoid you freaking out. Now, does that make lying okay? Absolutely not. But he's been in this relationship with you and doing this for, 8+ years or however long, 7 years that you guys have been together. So are you surprised? Or are you mad that he met another girl and that you know that he had feelings for that girl and that you know that he was going to move in with that girl? That's the part I think you're mad about, because it's bruising your ego. Corey can only be about you. It all has to be about you, all eyes on you. And if I need to say it again, when you said that you didn't think that he could have sex with anyone else because he was so into you, that just proves to me who you think you are. So she's in the house. She's crying. She doesn't want to see him. If she sees him, she's going to punch him in the face. She wants him to suffer. She wants him to get eaten by bugs. She's repelled by him. She wants him to sleep outside. All the things. Sounds really to me that you really love him, Evelin. You really love the man that you said you want to marry and you have married. That's your husband and you want him to suffer. You want him to suffer. Gotcha. Evelin lets him sleep inside. The next day, she's sitting on some bench and he walks over. And this is how I took it. This is not what was said, but this is how I took it. Do I have permission to sit? Do I have permission to talk to you? Do I have permission to be here? Like, that's how he was acting. Can I sit here? Can I talk to you? Victim. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. More of the same. You suck. She has zero trust in him. Took her a long time to fall in love with him, and that he doesn't deserve her. And she wants him to leave. It's over. She'll never trust him again. And she's more mad that she has to tell her parents that she's going to get a divorce because she told them that they were going to get married. Not this. So she's not really mad at Corey, you guys. At the end, she's mad, and just like Crystal said, she's mad because he made her feel embarrassed just like she did to him. She's mad because she's embarrassed about the situation. She's mad because he met someone else. She's mad because she told her parents that, hey, we're married and we're going to have a new wedding. And now this $50,000 wedding that she wants is going, she's mad about that. She's embarrassed. It's more about her and not about her relationship with her husband. Because honestly, you guys, I was trying to feel empathy when she was crying and doing all the things and feeling betrayed, but I didn't feel anything for her because I was like, I don't understand what you're exactly mad at. Is it the lie? Because he did come clean about the lie. He just didn't come all the way clean about the lie. Because it can't be that he cheated, because he didn't cheat. And even though they're married, you guys, he didn't cheat because they were separated. And she literally said out of her mouth that they could both see other people. So. Listen. Corey's not going anywhere. I don't think Corey's going anywhere. Corey owned all that property and the businesses, all that stuff. That's all Corey's money. So, when I saw the snippet for the next week's episode where she was like, you got to get out of here or I'll call the police and I don't want it to come late. Listen, bitch, we both own this place. So what you're not about to do is kick me out of the place that I have probably all purchased, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, half purchased. You know that was Corey's US dollars that purchased that place that they lived, that purchased the land that they bought, that purchased the bar that they owned. So let's stop playing, Evelin, because your butt hurt. You're not calling any type of police, any type of way, because what did he really do? And his name is on all this stuff. And the car that he drives is the car. Like, stop it. Just stop it. Just stop playing. Stop being ridiculous and stop being selfish. You obviously don't love him. You should just say that. Period. You love the money and the stability that he brings to the relationship, and you feel like you can treat him any type of way and talk to him all crazy. I have yet once to see you be loving, except that kiss, I guess, in the beginning of this episode where you're like loving and encouraging and supportive of him. Instead, you're just like, you talk down to him every single minute that you can, and it's kind of sick. And then here's something else, you guys. I saw something online where maybe I can find it real quick. She said online something that she feels all the fans, everyone has broken her, and that we're all mean and evil. And if I can find it, I will read it to you really quickly. Yeah. This is what she said, you guys. Have a minute to hear this. She says, Evelin, and she spells it EVIL-N. She is so cold. She has no heart, evil, mean, ice queen, and more. We all have a heart. Excuse me. We all have a sweetheart, but situations in life make us guarded. I don't trust nobody. I don't open my heart because when I had, it was always ended up bad. It's always so easy to judge and to make assumptions about people. Maybe I just love different, but doesn't mean I don't love or have no feelings. I think some people look for guarded people. Maybe they just see them as a challenge to get to their heart, just to take the pride and break it. When I say I work hard to love, is because I do. I tried very hard to trust, to believe, to open up. I have seen the haters say that they were laughing intrinsically, I think, after seeing me break. My pain somehow gives them joy. It makes their day. I wish so badly the situation could have been dealt with in private, but that option was never given to me. I was blindsided and betrayal by the person I thought will have my back. And now here I am entertaining you with one of the hardest moments of my life, finding that you can't trust people, even if they swear in your face that men never keep their word and they just suck. This has broke me. You all haters can be happy. I'm in a process of healing, and I'm also seeing a therapist. I cry so much. I have so much anger, and I have closed myself more than I have ever been before. This last 2 years has been hell. All the issues, all the hate, losing my bar, the rumors and lies about me, the judgments, the rocks thrown up me every day. I'm so tired. At the end of the day, I'm just, what did she say? Blah, blah, blah. Rumors thrown at me. I'm just a girl in your TV. No need for so much fucking hate. You love talking about karma. Well, I wish nothing but the same that you wish for me. Be happy now. Okay. She could, do you see? Do you see what it is? She could have just been like, hey, you guys, you guys are hurting my feelings. And this is just a TV show. And that was a really hard breakup, or I was going through some things these past 2 years. Mind you, we've all been going through some things these past 2 years in the pandemic, but whatever. But instead, she says that. And she's like threatening and she's wishing. It's weird. Do you see what I'm saying? I can't put it to words. It's like you want to feel bad for her, but it's like she's a bitch when she's saying how she feels. Like she's mean about it, and she's like an attack dog, right? There's an attack dog who's sitting in the corner, and you want to help the attack dog because it looks like it's lost, but then when you go, the dog tries to bite you and scratch you, so then you don't want to help the dog. Like it's kind of like that, if that makes any type of sense. It's very bizarre. It's very bizarre. So that's them. Moving on to Sumit and Jenny. Sumit and Jenny are, listen, you guys, can I just say this off the top? I don't understand why we're even having these conversations anymore. I don't understand. It's been 10 fucking years. If the parents don't accept you, like by now, I don't understand why. Like they should think that Jenny's not going anywhere. It's been 10 years. 10 years. 10 years. So why are we still fighting about this? It blows my mind. Now, listen, you guys. I had a theory. The theory went viral, and I stick to my theory, and I know it's true. I know that these two are married. All of this is for show. That's the only thing that makes sense. You cannot be 10 years deep in a relationship trying to win the parents over so that you can get their blessings, so that you can get married. Y'all fools are already married. That's why she can stay in India for as long as she can. That's why she's all like settled into the house, all the things, okay? The mask with the matching scarf, all the things. I'm being ridiculous now, but you know what I mean. This is all nonsense. You all have not been together for 10 years and fighting about getting married if you're not already married. You're married. This is a storyline. I'll run with the storyline, but I'll tell you this. I'm sick of the nonsense. I'm sick of it. Why do you marry me? You always say you're going to marry me, but you don't marry me. Oh, my parents say no. My parents say no. My mom's going to get mad and I have to make my mom. Okay, just, you're like almost 40, dude. At what point do you like want to cut the cord and actually live on your own? But whatever. So Sumit and Jenny are on the way to the family counselor. I've really noticed that Jenny's got her mask scarf game on point. Every time she has a mask matching scarf. I think it's like pretty fashionable for her. And so they're on the way to meet this counselor. Now, I'm going to try to say it without laughing because I think it's ridiculous. But Jenny says that this is like the best thing to do because they need some advice from an outsider. And she feels like this is the last thing that they can do. Because this is it. Now, here's the thing. She feels like if this doesn't work, nothing else is going to work. don't try to act like you haven't tried to convert to Hare Krishna, went to see his psychic, went to another counselor, went to a lawyer, okay, went to the parents, and now we're seeing another like, let's not act like you didn't try to twist all. We've been through all of this with you guys before. So bringing in an outsider to fix the problem when we've already tried all the other tricks in the trade, stop playing, okay? So Jenny hasn't seen his parents since the time that they came over and the mom cussed her out in the house. Jenny really feels, again, like this is their last option, seeing the counselor. Okay, well, last option, you've already been with him for 10 years, my friend. You ain't going nowhere. So they meet with the counselor. Mom's upset. She's thinking nothing good in her mind when she sees them together. And again, I'm throwing up, it's been 10 years, Mom. So, I mean, at some point, you're just going to have to accept it because he's not going anywhere. She's not going anywhere. Dad's upset. He really wants the son to marry someone else because who marries someone older than his own mother, and how can he digest that? And again, it's been 10 years. You've had 10 years to digest it. They're married already. So, like, stop playing. Counselor wants to know if age is the biggest problem. The parents say, yes, it is. And then the counselor says, well, listen, you still have to find a solution. And Linda, the counselor right here, I'm not a trained counselor, but I will say that, yes, it's been 10 years. The solution is, guess what? Get over yourself. Sumit's not going anywhere. Sumit is not going anywhere. Jenny's not going anywhere. Y'all aren't going anywhere. And here we are fighting about the same stupid thing. She's old. Well, you know what? Each year that goes on, she gets older. And guess what? So does Sumit. So who cares? Okay? Who cares? At this point, I don't. I don't care. We see Jenny. We know that she's older than him. We see Sumit that he's, a mama's boy. But guess what? They're still together. Oh, and they've been together for 10 years. So the counselor says you still have to find a solution. The parents say, what happens if the relationship ends within the next 5 or 15 years from now? Where will Jenny be? Jenny says, well, after Sumit, there's going to be no one, I'm just going to be on my own. Mom throws in the shade. She's like, you know what? Then why don't you stay alone now? The dad smirks, has a little laugh because, the mom slid a dig in there. And then they want to know about Sumit. Same question. Where are you going to be in the next 5 to 15 years? You won't be able to get anyone else. You'll be 50 by that time. And Jenny's like, well, that's not old because Jenny is even older than 50, right? So she's not going to think that 50 is old. And 50 really isn't that old. But apparently, his parents say that it's rare in India for people to get married at that age, which I think is kind of sad, right? Love should have no age boundaries. You can get married whenever you want to get married if you want to get married. Then they talk about how, like, there's no old age homes. And this is where, you guys, they were reeling us into this whole idea that they're all going to live under one happy family household, which they could have done like 3 seasons ago and saved us all the nonsense. But this is how they reeled us in. So they said that, there's no old age homes in India because they all live in joint families and they're all attached to each other. And that was going to reel us into the idea of them all starting to live together, right? So Jenny's upset. Jenny's like, oh, Jenny, Sumit is never going to choose me. You're always going to choose your family. Jenny, why bother say that? Because you ain't going nowhere. He doesn't choose you every single day. He doesn't choose you every single day. He chooses his family every day. And here you are. Although y'all are already married. Change my mind. Change my mind. If you guys are watching the replay, hit me in the comments and tell me why you think I'm wrong. If you guys think I'm wrong right now, watching the live chat, definitely let me know why you think I'm wrong. But I'm sticking with my theory. And those of you that know me, when I have a theory, I'm pretty dead on. I had a theory about Jeffrey and Varya last year, and I proved it with receipts, and I was right about those fools. And I'm right about this, you guys. I really am. I'm right about this. So, Sumit says, I'm not giving up on us. I'm not giving up on our love. I'm not giving up on trying to get the family all reunited. Mom starts getting upset. She's worried that her son is going to be alone. The counselor says, you know what? Hey, listen, you got to let Sumit live his life. You have to let him live his life the way he wants to live his life sometime and let him take the lead in that. And meanwhile, they're all having this conversation. And I was thinking, where's the translator for Jenny? Jenny's just sitting there. Like, if I didn't speak the language and I'm having a counseling session, better believe I'm saying, what was said? What'd they say? What I need everything translated so that I know for myself. What you're not about to do is paraphrase this hour-long counseling session into, oh, well, guess what? My mom wants to see how you're going to be as a mother-in-law or as a daughter-in-law, so she's going to move in with us. That's what you're not about to sum up all of this. I need to hear all the ins and outs, but apparently Jenny was okay with that. The mom wants to see how Jenny's going to be as a mother-in-law, so she's going to move in with them, and the mom will teach her how to be a proper Indian wife. So they want the entire family to live together. Jenny's like, oh, hell no, and hells to the no. But the mom said this thing that was super codependent and super weird to me. She's like, she's still attached to him, to Sumit, and Sumit's really attached to her. So she came up with this idea that they should just all live together. And she's like, I made up my mind, so I'm going to live with them. And when she said that, you guys, did you see Sumit's face? He was smiling. He's happy about this because guess what? He gets his cake and he gets to eat it too. Because guess what? He gets Jenny and his mom, that's what he's wanted. Because that's why he doesn't really want like all this strife. He wants all of it. He wants to be with his mom because he's a mama's boy, and he wants Jenny because Jenny brings in the checks. Because really, what is Sumit's job, y'all? Since the call center days, have we ever once mentioned him having a job? So him and Jenny don't work? What do they do all day? He's already acting like he's retired. Yeah, I said it. And I'm about to laugh because I did say that. Okay. So Sumit's super happy. He's like, oh, my parents are trying. So we're gonna give this a try, Jenny. You know, we're gonna make this a whole happy family. And meanwhile, did you guys notice that Jenny had her Hare Krishna chanting beads in her hand? So you know in her head, she's like, this is what she was saying. With her beads, she's like, this motherfucker. I might kill this motherfucker in his sleep. I can't believe that he's allowing his mom and his dad to come live in my house, that I pay all the bills and do all the laundry and make all the food. This motherfucker's now going to have his mama come change his diaper and his dad come talk crazy to me. Like, that's what she was doing. She was not like, oh, peace, love, happiness. Like, nah, she was like, this motherfucker, I'm about to kill him with these beads. Hey, Alicia. Hey, girl. Hey. So that's what I saw. And if you guys missed it, you guys have to rewind and watch that moment because she was not playing with those beads. She was pissed, but she wasn't saying anything. So then there's Temple Tuesday. He goes to temple every Tuesday, apparently, to the monkey god. This was like some weird segue to I don't know what. Like, I didn't need to know anything. Like, I didn't learn anything from this. So all I learned, I guess, was that India is famous for monkeys. They had a conversation about why is your mom and your dad going to come live with us if we're not married? And Sumit's like, hey, listen, I'm for it. They're trying. They want to live with us. They want to teach you. And all of us under one roof. It's going to be a great thing. Woo, woo, woo. I get my mom and my daddy and my wife all in one roof. Everyone's going to be doing everything for me. And I can act like I'm 12 years old. I have one lady doing my cleaning. I have one lady doing my cooking. My dad and I can go play ball. I'm so ridiculous. I'm sorry. Okay. Sumit's super happy that his parents are going to come live with them. He's like, yeah, come for like 2 months. We'll see how it goes. You know that 2 months is going to be forever and it will be a wrap. Jenny's really confused by this because she really thinks that his mom is up to something, has a plan to kind of make her life hell and run her out of India. And then Sumit says to Jenny, who has moved across the country, accepted him for catfishing her, accepted him for marrying someone else 4 years and not telling her, accepted him for his parents talking crazy and talking shit about her, accepted him for lying about marrying her over and over and over again, all the things. But Sumit says you need to make some changes in your life. I have to tell you something. If someone had the audacity, after all that they put me through and all the changes that I made for them and the little social security check that I'm sharing with them because you ain't got no job, that you're going to turn around and say to me that I need to make some changes in my life. Well, you're 35 years old. You ain't got no job. You ain't got no home except because of me. I found the home. You're about to move your mama and your daddy in, but I need to make some changes in my life. Okay. I mean, I guess. Okay, moving on. Kenny and Armando, love them. Distracted for a minute because they're in Mexico, and the first thing that I saw in the scene was, did you guys see the Carl's Jr. sign? I was like, they have Carl's Jr.? Why are y'all acting like it's like they have Carl's Jr. here? Anyhow, sidetrack. They're collecting their paperwork. Krista says, I agree with the theory that they're already married. However, if they aren't, Sumit is doing a lot to find a way out of marrying her. Mom moving in might do the trick. I'm sticking to my theory. They're married. Mom's moving in just to make this a storyline. Because guess what? Spoiler alert. This is what's going to happen. Haven't seen it, but this is my theory. She's going to move in. She's going to try to hate Jenny, but Jenny's going to catch on because Jenny's a grown-ass woman, catch on what it is to be an Indian wife. The mom's going to oh my God, I have a new daughter, even though she's older than me. She's probably could be my auntie or my mom, whatever. But now I have a new daughter and I have the blessing. I'm giving the blessing finally after 10 years. And at the end of the season, we're going to see them tie the knot. All right. So, Kenny and Armando, they're gathering their paperwork. They picked a wedding day. They're going to go to the marriage office and make sure that everything's copacetic. All I saw was Hannah. Hannah is super, super cute. See, even Alicia agrees with me. She's like, yep, facts. Facts. Hannah is super cute. That's all I saw. Hannah with the cute iPad. Hannah with the cute little baby. Hannah cute with the outfit. Cute, cute, cute. I just love Hannah. I think she's adorable. And you can tell that she's well-loved. When she was sitting at the kitchen table, she looked over to Armando. You could just see pure love in her eyes that only a child gives a parent. It was really beautiful to watch. Well-loved, well-behaved, just a happy child. Then I had a question that I don't know the answer to, wanting to know maybe if you guys know the answer to this. Why doesn't Armando drive? I've never seen him drive. It's always Kenny driving, and I'm just curious about that. Does he not have a driver's license or what? Just curious. But I'm digress again. If you know the answer, let me know in the live chat. If you don't know the answer, then that's fine too. So Armando feels a little bit worried about going to the marriage office. They had to go through a bunch of loopholes to get their marriage certificate, going to get human rights documents, etc., etc. They get to the office, And they find out that the documents are not necessary anymore. The state has informed them that same-sex marriage is like any other marriage, and it's a big win. They're all happy. And Armando asked, like, is this just here? And the marriage guy was like, no, it's the whole state. He's like, I can't say that it was you guys as a couple that brought this on, but a lot of people are looking for same-sex marriage, and it just pushed change, and that's what is important, because love is love. And so they set a wedding date, May 22nd, and they helped lead the change over there in Mexico. And I just thought that that was a beautiful thing. And they're a little beautiful, little happy, non-problematic couple. And I'm here for it. Debbie said, great singing. Debbie, I know you lie, girl. I cannot sing, but I'll take it. I'll take it. And last and certainly not least is Binyam and Ariella. And I just have to say that this little thing just broke my heart. Just broke their whole little scene. Poor Binyam. And you guys, just FYI, Binyam is online right now asking for prayers because he really wants to see his firstborn son. He did this whole post, and I'm going to perhaps share with you it before I start. So, as you know, Binyam really loves his kids. Like, he loves his kids, and he's had a terrible experience that he's kind of having PTSD about with Ariella right now. So she's packing for the US, and you could tell she's super happy. She was just smiling, and we rarely get to see Ariella smile, but she was smiling. And he's like begging her not to go, and she's explaining, Avi needs this hernia surgery, so we're only going to be gone for a month, and it's bittersweet. I don't want to leave you, but also I want to go and see my family and have them meet baby Avi and see my friends, all of that stuff. But Benny's having a really hard time with it. He's really finding it difficult. And then my question again here is, why can't he leave? I mean, I know now he's in the US, but like, why couldn't he leave then? Like, couldn't he get some type of emergency visa at the time? I'm very curious about that. Like, why couldn't he travel with them too? I need answers. So we find out that the night before they had a little bit of a disagreement, and he took her passport and baby Avi's passport and hid them because he was scared. He doesn't want to lose his family. He doesn't want to lose his son, all the things. And Ari felt like that was an aggressive act towards her, and she was really mad about it. But he did give the passports back. But I was interested that she said it like that, like it was an aggressive act towards her. How so? Benny starts crying. He says, you're my family. I love you. He's had this happen to him before, and he's just so sad, you guys. And it just broke my heart. It really just broke my heart. And she's like, oh, well, I have a surprise for you. And she's like, pulls out this ring and says, you are my family till the end of time. She says it in Ethiopian. I have a gift for you. She says in Ethiopian. And she kneels. She puts the ring on him. And it's like a wedding band ring that says forever family. And they have matching, engagement rings. They're matching engagement rings. And Benny's just like sad. He's like, I feel heavy inside. I feel scared. I don't know if you guys are going to come back. Like I'm worried because this has happened to me before. It's happened to me before with my first family, he said. And he feels really scared. And meanwhile, she's like, well, it's going to be my first time back in the US in 11 months. I'm excited to see my family, my friends. And, it's hard. It's hard because it's bittersweet. I don't want to leave you, but then I do want to leave you, but I don't want to leave you, but I do. And Benny's like, well, this is just giving me flashbacks of my previous family. and he has a whole breakdown, you guys. And I want to pull it up real quick for you. So this is Binyam's firstborn son. Current picture of him. Binyam hasn't seen him in 2 years, doesn't have any relationship with him whatsoever because his ex is not allowing it. His caption was, "I can't believe how much my son has grown. I miss him every single day. I can't wait to give him a hug and a kiss. I can't wait to hear him call me dad. Please pray for me." So as you can see, family really is everything for Binyam, and he is missing his firstborn and is scarred by the experience of not being able to be in his son's life. And so this whole segment was very, very sad to me, you guys. It was very sad. It was very sad because you could see he was hurting and he was scared that he was going to lose his family for a second time. Now, that being said, Binyam, you gotta I hope that this is forever. You and Ariel are forever and that you'll never have to deal with this. And, obviously you're already in America and things seem to be working out, all the things. But these are some of the things you have to deal with when you consistently date people that are foreigners that don't even actually live where you're from. So, the heartache. Anyways, you guys, that's the show. That's what happened. Let me jump into the live chat. Vanessa says, yeah, he broke into the heart-wrenching cry. It was hard to watch. Stevie says, hey, Stevie, that was a really deep scene. No acting there. That was real fear and pain. Alba says, well, maybe he should be making homemade kids. And Crystal says, grown man sobbing gets me every time. So, yeah, you guys, it was a very hard scene. It was very sad. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. You guys, I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. We were talking all things the family Chantel, and I cannot wait because Mama Karen is my favorite. Bye for now, guys.